Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and today I'm using my Counterfeit Kit Challenge and playing with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And this is the sketch from Shawn, Stiles, Lahr. And those are the 4 pieces of pattern paper I have left, and a part of that one and some other parts. I'm going to do these photos of my oldest. This is her 13th birthday. I knew it was a birthday. I didn't know which birthday it was, so I actually had to go and look. And those photos are only on my phone right now, which is kind of funny. So part way through, you can see that I have to do that because I'll change my orientation because I literally had to turn my phone off, which is what I record on, to check how old she was at this time. So fun. I pulled out these 2 plum-ish kinds of cardstock. They're not they came from a paper pad, so they're a little thinner, and so I'm gonna go with this American Crafts paper, mostly because it was going to be the easiest one to pull all the way across that plum paper, and it matches the birthday paper, and which is good on, and I thought those pastel colors would work quite nicely with what's going on here. So I'm gonna cut it off between the pink and the brown. And then the top one, I'm going to cut the white off of the pink, and that makes up pretty much the same. And then this one gets the brown off the bottom, and that makes it pretty easy to line up now. So now we are going to town here. And then I realized that because I took a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom to make sure that they match up, I do not have 6x6 paper there, or 6x12 paper there. It's a little bit short, which is totally cool. But it does mean if I want to use these like they are in the sketch, I do need to chop these down just a little bit. The sketch, it looks like you probably can't see the paper that's in behind, but there is a piece on the side there you definitely can see. So I'm totally okay with cutting my papers down. I did want to see this color going all the way across, mostly because there's not going to be a whole lot on this page when I get done. So I did think about doing the borders on the top and all sorts of different things, but it is what it is. So I am going to cut 3 of the circles like Shawn has in the sketch, and so I'm going to choose the ones where my kiddo is opening her present, because I thought that would be the easiest one to do for those ones, and ties the both pages together then. And I am not using the 4-inch circle that I have because it's just slightly bigger than 4 inches. So I'm going to use a smaller one. I think it's about 3.5. Maybe that outer edge is probably pretty close to 3 3/4 even. There's just a little bit there, so not 4, but 4 doesn't cut perfect in those a 4x6 photo. You kind of have to print it a little bit bigger so that you can get that last one in if you wanted to do circles with that. And I am embracing the circle photos this month. Look at me, have a couple done this month, I think 1 last month. Yay! I find it a little difficult to do photos in shapes, so I'm totally happy that I'm making myself like do a little bit outside my comfort zone, because square photos are like where it's at for me usually. So, and then I did cut those photos down just a bit more because I did want to see a little bit more on the upper and bottom. And then I am gonna scallop border punch the bottom of the brown here. And so I'm going to show you the one side that I do. This is like, I don't know if there's an easier way to do this, if I'm just missing something, but I find it very finicky to like line up and not go too far, but go far enough. And I'm going to do the last one off screen because it's the same finicky as the first. If you have hints about how to border punch without it being so finicky, I would love to hear them. Let me know in your in the comments below that if you have a tip on how to use them without almost losing your mind. So getting this down, I just wanted, like, the brown was kind of getting lost on the plum, just because they were both really dark. So I was like, maybe if I put a scallop on it, it would help. It doesn't really help, but I thought it might. So I'm like, meh, okay. So the lovely thing about having these circle photos and making my photos a little bit smaller is I get more photos on a page and I don't have to do a whole bunch of flips. So when I was showing you the pictures, I was thinking about not doing the circles and just doing those in in 3 flips all the way across. And then I was like, nope, we can try this way. And then I did have a couple of photos that aren't going to make it onto the page that were basically the same as the other one. So I just picked out the nicer ones and allowed that to be what it is. And not all of them have to go on. I take lots of pictures of the kids when they're for like their birthdays and for Christmas. Not all of them have to end up on a page. Not all of them are good photos. So it's totally okay. As you can see, I'm cropping down these ones so that they can fit better in the space that I have, because if I left them the 4-inch width, they would take that whole width up and then I wouldn't be able to see all the pretty color that I have underneath. And then why even do all that work if I'm not going to see even part of it? So, and then I do decide I'm going to put this down here a little bit more. I am going to play with this a little bit and just trying to sort out. Shawn has the picture going off the page and in a 3x6. I don't want it to be a 3x6. I lose too much of what I do actually have going on there. So that's why I cut them all down a bit. But I can overlap them and have some movement going that way. And then I want a little bit of space in the middle so that it coordinates across, so it helps your eye move. And then I'm like, I need something else. And I have all these borders, but none of them like actually match anymore. So I don't have 2 of anything. And so I'm looking to see if I can find 2 of something. And so I'm like, maybe I'll use these. And so I'm going to speed this up here right away or even more, because I don't use any of these from Pretty Little Studios. But I thought about it, and I could have. There's a couple spots that they definitely would have worked, but I wasn't feeling it. And I just needed, I don't know, something different. So but I know I need something else. So I did think about that one, but it's too big and it overlaps the photo, and I do want to see the little bit that I have of the cake. That one at the top above the circle one on the pattern paper, I like that one. I like that one actually a lot. And that one could go back on it, actually. But I'm thinking about, there's a journaling box here, but I don't like the blue. And then I'm going to go into my stash. This is what that stripe paper is from, is this American Craft box bundle. So I'm pulling out papers that I will think go with the layout that I can do something with. And so these flower-ish bits, I'm going to cut 2 1-inch strips, and they're going to go underneath that brown, and that makes that brown pop a little bit more, brightens up the page, and so I'm going to be happy with that. I'm trying to feed it underneath without taking both photos up, and it just keeps sticking. And so I get half of it under, and then it's like, nope. But it's because I'm trying to feed it through with that picture still being there. And just a second here, and I will rip the picture off and be like, enough. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it. I can just get it going better here. Scuff that up a bit. Use my T-square to get it on straight-ish. This goes on. There. That was so much easier. Why would I not do that in the first place? Scuff it up, put it in, line it up, done. Look at how easy the second one was. because the picture wasn't in the way. And then I do like that, and it does brighten it up quite a bit, so I'm going to do 1-inch strips at the top here. You're actually going to see more of the 1 inch than on the bottom because I do butt it right up against, but that's okay. And then looking at different things to try and like figure out what else I want. And so I did like that flower from the Color Me Happy from Simple Stories, but it wasn't quite the scale that I wanted, but these colors I know are going to match. So I'm going to put this tabby bit in, and on the tabby bit I put Pure Joy. I'm looking at some of the other stuff I have here. I was thinking about that. It's a paintbrush thingy, but the camera I'm going to use, because that is cute. And now I'm thinking about title. And so my title is going to be Hello Happy 13. And I don't know what's 13 yet, but I know I want to use those letters. And so this is where I pop back, and my camera is in a different orientation a little bit. And I apologize because for a little bit the bottom part of my page is off, but I can't do anything about it because of where my camera ends for the view. So it is what it is. So that orange piece says Joyful Heart. This one I'm going to slide underneath. It's a slide, and it says Pretty Colors because she was looking at all the pretty colors of her new markers, because she got a massive set of markers for her birthday because that's what she wanted. So her birthday presents usually have something to do with art or color. So and I wasn't sure this was 13, and I still am like, am I sure it's 13? But the metadata doesn't lie, so I totally know what date they were taken on. So yep, 13. I did fussy cut one of the flowers out of the brown paper because the brown wouldn't have been horrible to have a little bit more on it, but I'm not feeling that, so I'm going to border punch this edge and see if I would like that. And I'm like, nope, I don't like that either. It makes it too busy. I'm gonna try this flower one more time to see if I can do no, like I just want a little bit more. So I'm like, I don't know. So I go and grab this kit from Studio Calico. I just went in my room and did some stash diving. So this is a Pocket Life kit that I ordered on one of their like clearance sales a few Christmases ago, and I haven't actually used hardly any of it. So I'm going to use some of it on here. And so that chipboard piece is going to move that says Wish, Wish, Wish up a bit onto the purple, onto that plum, but I do that after. And then these little bits are going to move, and I'm going to add one more of the side stickers from the Color Me Happy. But those starburst enamel pieces, puffy pieces, I thought worked really well. I got a couple of stars on there as well that are like a shooting star and a heart, and I think that works pretty well. Trim off the little bit of extra there, and the photo on this side, and here are my close-ups. I will show you in the pictures here what that top cluster actually looks like, because it's not on there obviously. But this is a pretty simple page, but I do like the way it came together, so that's good. I will have 30 Days of Sketches linked below because there is a playlist for that, and if I can find Shawn's information for social media, I will link that as well. Yeah, thank you so much for being here today. If you liked my video, I would appreciate that thumbs up. I would, if you're new here, subscribing would be fantastic. And if you have any comments, please let me know. Thank you so much. Have a great day.